Hello, everybody, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This week being the 19th to the 25th of January, 2026. So, what this reading is going to be about is just going to be I'm going to ask my guides to help me do a reading for you on what you need to know for this week. And let's see what comes up. Oh, there's already one card coming out for you. So, we'll get into it all. That one was the Seven of Swords, if anybody knows anything about tarot. Okay. So let's see. Let me first pull out all the cards and then we'll get into the reading. So, all my cards are turned upside down. That's normal. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Right. So, let's begin. So what I like to do, this is the spread that I always do for all my tarot readings. So what I do is this card that I always place on top of another card. This card right here, the first card that I pulled was the Seven of Swords. There it looks right over there. So that is usually the current path that you are on in my readings. And then the card that covers it, in this case it's the Moon, is either it's the card that's going to help you along this journey, what you would need to do in order to progress through this journey that you're on. And then we'll progress through the whole reading, eventually getting to your potential future of this week. So, the Seven of Swords. The Swords is all about your mental capability. All the different cards have different elements to them. So the swords are mental. So what the Seven of Swords is, Seven of Swords kind of feels like this week has been a bit of a strain for you. Maybe it's because it's midweek Jan, it's almost the end of January, but it's every January kind of is that like 13th month, right? You're coming out of December, you don't have money, and now you have to make it through another month before you get to your first paycheck, right, of the new year. So maybe right now the Seven of Swords, you're kind of feeling like, you can see in that photo there, she's kind of like in a little bit of a bubble above a spike trap, right? So it kind of feels like you're dangling a little bit above a dangerous situation. Maybe things are a little bit tight right now, and you're not really sure like which way to go forward or how to find any form of safety in this situation, right? So we then look at the Moon. The Moon is the card that covered that card. So what the Moon represents, now this is going to sound a bit strange, but the Moon represents having to face that dark side, having to face those insecurities, having to face that fear of not having enough or being in a little bit of a dangerous situation. So there you go. There's the Moon again. I'll show you one more time. It's all about finding balance. So whatever that may be. So right now, let's say this reading is all about financial difficulties now, coming out of December into January now, and you're very close to getting that paycheck, but you're not quite there yet. The Moon is all about finding some form of balance to deal with the stress and fun. You have to find something to counter the stress, because if we go through this whole month feeling stressed and feeling anxious and feeling like we're dangling above danger, it's not healthy for anybody. So that Moon is finding that internal balance. It's not about external values. External things aren't going to give you that peace of mind, right? So you need to find that internal peace, that internal balance between the stress and the happiness, whatever that may be for you. So we look a little bit back. We have the Five of Coins, right? We have the Four of Cups. I'll do this way. And we have the Priestess, right? I'll try to get all the cards in like that, right? So you can see that. So these three cards tell a story of their own. So like I said, we're coming straight out of December into January. The Five of Coins represents nothingness, right? It's kind of like you've lost all your money, right? You've gotten to a point where the wealth that you have has started to diminish, and now you're kind of like on the outside looking in, almost in a sense that you've been locked outside, right? And you have nowhere back inside the house. The Four of Cups represents gratitude, but what this means is that it's something that you're possibly not grateful for. Now, I'm not calling you out or anything, But what this means is that when we're going through chaos, now I've experienced this myself, when you're going through chaos and turmoil and you're being dangled above a spike trap, right? And you're being dangled above a spike trap with no way out, it's kind of difficult to find anything that you're grateful for or anything that makes you quite happy, because everything around you feels like it's crashing and burning. But that's what this card represents. There may be gifts that are being given to you in this moment, no matter how small, no matter how silly it may seem. If it's some form of relief, like a friend asking you to go out and they even offer to pay, no matter how small the gift is, appreciate that, because it's some form of relief from the chaos that you're going through right now. That spike trap, it's a relief, so you don't have to sit on the chair above the spike trap waiting to fall, waiting for somebody to come with a ball and knock you into the pool of water, right? Like those are carnival games. And lastly is the High Priestess. Oh, sorry, no, just the Priestess, not the High Priestess. The Priestess is also a major Arcana card. Now, this card represents internal knowledge. It's all about having, again, it's another balance card, just like the moon. You have the dark side and the light side. The moon and the Priestess share the same thing. The only difference is the Priestess is a bit more feminine. It's a bit more on the emotional, the spiritual, or the knowing scale, right? Now, the Priestess, you know that things are going to get better, right? You know that going out with your friend is actually going to be good for you. But when we're going through this chaos, that's the last thing that you want to do. You don't want to rely on anybody else, because relying on somebody else makes you feel funny. It doesn't feel right. You're the one that takes care of everybody else. And you can't rely on somebody else. You're the strong one, right? So, but you know that this is going to help you. So you need to find that, again, that spiritual balance, that internal balance. It's all about balance in this reading. We move a bit forward again to another balance card. You guessed it, the Two of Wands. Wow, there's a lot of twos and a lot of balance in this. Now, the Two of Wands is all about external balance. Now, again, it shows you now that there are two doors, a blue door and a red door. A lot of people don't want to make mistakes. A lot of people want to be perfect. A lot of people don't like doing the wrong thing. And when you're given a choice between left or right, left path or right path, left door, right door, nobody necessarily knows what to do, and they're very terrified of making the wrong thing, especially when the outcome may be that spike trap, right? But what this card represents is there is actually no wrong answer. Yes, there may be a downside to the choice, but the thing is, at the end of the day, you still learn a lesson from that, and you gain strength from it. You still gain more balance. You gain knowledge. You gain an understanding of what's beyond that door, and you gain a little bit of an understanding within yourself on how to handle that situation, right? And that's tied in perfectly well with the Chariot as well. That even if you choose the wrong door, the Chariot helps you to move past whatever situation is on the other side of that door. It helps you to progress through that and learn the lesson and persevere and look at that dark side within yourself, or the dark side on the outside of yourself, and realize that the light that was shining on the other side of the darkness is actually the whole reason why you went through that door in the first place. So take that with you going forward into the next stage of your life, right? Now, understand that with every major change that comes into your life, there is going to be a little bit of a grief, because part of you is going to change along with that lesson. The old version of you is going to die, right? The old version of you is no longer going to exist, because you have gathered this new piece of information, this new piece of knowledge, this new power, right, within yourself. And that old version of you is no longer going to exist. And a lot of other people around you are not going to understand this. You may not understand this quite quickly, right? So, but what this new version of you is going to bring so much overwhelming amounts of abundance. It's going to bring so much joy within yourself. You go from the Five of Pentacles or the Five of Coins, where there's a lack of wealth, to the Nine of Coins, where you are gleaming and getting showered with all of this wealth. Now, I don't want to say that you're going to be like the richest person at the end of this week. Wealth means more than just money. It can be that internal value, that internal knowledge, that internal strength that we gain from looking at our dark side. And the only way that we ever able going to do that is by not being afraid of which door we choose. Not being afraid of which door we choose, because what's worse than dangling over a spike pit? You may as well look at what's on the other side of the door. Something's going to be better than that, right? So open the door. Don't be afraid. And then, again, along with those cards is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is all about, again, it works very well with the Chariot. It's that forward momentum. It's the arrows flying through the sky. It's breeze. It's freedom. It's perseverance. So no matter what you're faced with, just persevere. It will be better eventually. You can't listen. You're not going to be above the spike trap for the rest of your life. You're gonna find a lot of peace and prosperity. Trust me. I mean, there's already the Nine of the Coins over here with all the wealth reigning above you, right? Then, right, we'll get into the next card. After that's all said and done. Now that seems like a lot of work, but anything in life that's actually worth something requires a lot of work. It requires change. It requires parts of you to alter in order for you to get anything that you want in life. And then you're met with the Ace of Cups. Yes, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, the Ace is all about new, something new. We're starting from the scratch again. Number one, Ace, right? And Cups represent emotions. So after all this is said and done, and that part of you has no longer exists, and you find this new wealth inside of you, new emotions are also going to arise. Because like I said before, part of that grief is that the people around you won't recognize the new version that you are. And some people will also leave along with that old version of you because they no longer vibe with your level or vibe with your frequency anymore. And that brings up a lot of brand new emotions. It brings up a lot of strength. It brings up a lot of courage. But it brings up a lot of other messes. I mean, emotions aren't just all about happiness and joy. I mean, we all know that, you know. But in saying that, you will also get a brand new mindset. There's a whole new way of thinking about things, a whole new way about perceiving difficulties, a whole new way of perceiving two doors, right? Two paths no longer scare you anymore because you know that whatever's on the other side of that door is not going to be worse than what you're going through right now. And yes, you guessed it, the Page of Coins is also there. There's going to be a new forms of experience in wealth, a new outlook on what wealth is, or what wealth actually means to you. What kind of wealth actually makes you feel wealthy? Sorry, I play on words. I'm not the most articulate person in the world. I can't think of other words that describe wealth, right? Joy, happiness, whatever. But in saying all of that, again, you get to now, the final card of the day is the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Coins, rather. Pentacles and coins are the same thing. I have other decks as well where it's called Pentacles and this deck is called Coins. Now, you have the Seven of Coins here, and you have the Nine of Coins here. And you've come from a place where the Five of Coins was your present, was everything that you know, right? And now you get to the Seven of Coins, where you can now live comfortably with the amount of wealth that you have. And again, that doesn't just mean money. That's internal wealth, external wealth. It's all of the confidence and joy that you experience, that balance that you've gained, right? And it's not just doom and gloom all around you. There is some light and there is some brightness, and you're able to share in that wealth. Now you can share in that wealth with all the people around you. When you shine bright, everybody else recognizes that light. Some people don't like it, but they will leave with the old version of you as well. You don't need to be surrounded by darkness. You can have balance. It is allowed. I allow you to not have darkness all around you. If you're looking for permission, I give you permission to find the light. Now, I don't usually get into these external cards. They just give me extra information, and I'll show you why. The Two of Cups, another balance card. Two of Cups also represents relationship. It's known as the soulmate card. And now, unfortunately, this isn't really a relationship tarot reading right now, but the relationship that you're going to gain from this is a new relationship with yourself. Once you are able to walk through that darkness and find the light within yourself, you start to gain a new love. You'll start to gain a new love for yourself, and you'll start to understand yourself better. And then again, those people who don't get to see that part of you, you're not gonna let people treat somebody you love with disrespect. And if that person is yourself, nobody's gonna treat you with disrespect either. Then we get to the Ten of Cups. You go from the Two of Cups to the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is the biggest yes card in the tarot deck. It is probably, in my opinion, the best Cups card that you can get in the deck as well. It is where you want to be with your emotions. It is the light, it is family, it is happy life all around, internal, external, everywhere around you, right? And that only comes if you're able to deal with the darkness. Right? So again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but the outcome is worth it. The outcome really is worth it. Oh, hey, look, another balance card. The Two of Coins. Balance, balance, balance. I don't know if you're quite feeling a bit tipsy-turvy. I mean, it's just past the weekend now, so maybe a little bit still hungover, but there's another balance card. Wealth, again. Now, I'm not going to be going into the whole spiel of why you need to do more balance again. It's just all about balancing the wealth within you, right? But again, the outcome of that is the King of Coins. It is the highest ranking coins card that you can get. You go from ace all the way to king in any of the suits that you get in the tarot deck. And then you get the King of Coins. So finding that balance gives you that value that you are on the top of your game. You don't need to earn the most money in your company. You don't need to earn the most in your friend group. But the amount of wealth that you gain from doing these things that I told you to do right now, you will feel like a king, you will feel like a queen, you will feel like you are the number one. So, what I like to do at the end of all of my readings as well, because a lot of these cards are minor arcana. Now, minor arcana are just weekly, here and there lessons that come and go, like balance, 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 balance. Most of these are balance cards. But what I like to do is I like to pull out what is known as the major arcana. The major arcana are the lessons that stick. The lessons that it's not just balance, 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 balance. Each major arcana has a different lesson behind it. So we'll see what we get from them. Okay, so we only have 3, and 2 of them are balanced. I know I said that they all have different lessons. They do, but in this case, they kind of have the same lesson. So we start off with the moon. The moon is finding balance between the light and the shadow within yourself. It's facing that darkness, the parts of yourself that you don't really want to be facing on the daily occurrence. It's not fun. You go through a lot of emotions that you don't want to be feeling, but when you come out of those emotions, you feel like a different human being. You start feeling like a king, you start feeling like a queen. It's always worth it. We have the Priestess. Now, the Priestess is all about, it's internal balance again, but that's not about facing your darkness. The moon is facing your darkness. The moon is the difficult one. The Priestess is all about knowing who you are on the inside. And the only way that you're able to do that is by dealing with the moon. Once you find that balance within yourself between the light and the dark within yourself, the Priestess is known. The Priestess is the silent, the silent intellect. She knows everything about herself because she's gone through the grueling task of figuring out who the hell that is. The Priestess is a fantastic card. And then we have the Chariot. If you're able to face your own goddamn darkness and find out who you really are, there ain't nothing stopping you. You're going to be going forward for as long as you like. People that are going to get in your way are going to jump. And if they don't, you're going to run them over. But trust me, the Chariot, the Chariot is a great card once you're able to figure out who that is. So if you like this video, please consider giving it a like, please consider giving me a follow, and I will see you in the next video.